Hidden deep in Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan region, exactly 3,300 meters above sea level, sits a plateau of almost impossible alpine perfection. Here, a quiet grass-covered meadow lies in the direct shadow of Nanga Parbat, a massive wall of rock and ice known locally as the Killer Mountain. But to stand in this serene pine forest and look up at that summit, you have to accept a difficult reality. There is no paved road, no bus route, and no easy way to get here. The meadow exists in this state solely because it is shielded by a staggering geographical fortress. In 2013, the World Health Organization designated the singular access route to this sanctuary as the second deadliest road on Earth. Approaching the meadow means enduring roaring engines, choking dust, and the constant shudder of a vehicle balancing on the absolute edge of a sheer cliff. Reaching the forest requires surviving a terrifying physical and psychological gauntlet designed to turn back anyone unwilling to take the risk. The journey begins on the smooth asphalt of the Karakoram Highway, carving through the arid valleys of northern Pakistan. But all modern transit abruptly stops at Raikot Bridge. Here, every traveler must abandon their private or hired vehicles. From this point forward, the local Jeep union acts as the absolute gatekeeper for all movement into the valley. It is a strict rule enforced by the community. Only registered indigenous drivers, men who have memorized every loose rock and blind corner, are permitted to navigate the upcoming ascent. To move forward, the traveler must hand over total autonomy to the people who truly understand the hazards of this mountain. Ahead lies the Raikot Jeep track, 15 kilometers of crumbling dirt and gravel hacked directly into a vertical rock face, completely devoid of guardrails. The ledge is so narrow that it barely accommodates the wheelbase of a single 4x4. Drivers constantly negotiate falling debris, survive sudden, violent landslides, and entire sections of the trail that routinely wash away down the canyon. Passengers must endure this intensely jarring high-altitude balancing act for up to 90 minutes of continuous cliffside driving. This mechanical climb acts as an aggressive natural filter, effectively preventing the upper slopes from being overrun by the heavy footprint of mass tourism. The road finally dead ends at the village of Tattoo, where the mechanical struggle ends and the biological one begins. The climb from the village covers a horizontal distance of 5 kilometers, but requires a severe 700-meter gain in vertical elevation. As the path crosses the 3,000-meter mark, atmospheric pressure drops, leaving the air thin and heavily taxing the human respiratory system. The reality on the trail is a grueling push through intense mountain heat and thick dust, where every step upward invites crushing fatigue. This physical exertion is the final toll the mountain exacts before it finally grants passage to the plateau. Without warning, the claustrophobic pine forest breaks wide open, revealing a massive, vibrant green shelf. German climbing expeditions in the 1930s were so struck by this surreal landscape that they named it Märchenwiese, the fairy tale meadows. It served as the staging ground for mountaineers like Hermann Buhl, the Austrian climber who used this meadow as his base before completing the first successful summit of Nanga Parbat. Standing here carries immense psychological weight, amplified by the sharp memory of the fear and physical pain required to reach the treeline. The ultimate reward is the Raikot face of the mountain itself, rising thousands of meters above the grass and catching the fading golden light of the evening sun. The fact that this alpine ecosystem remains so intact, with wildflowers blooming and natural springs flowing, is a direct result of how difficult it is to get here. Strict local oversight and the absence of high-impact development allow traditional herding and the surrounding forest to coexist in a rare, functional balance. This environment is protected by its own inaccessibility. The vertigo of the road and the weight of the climb ensure that those who reach the plateau arrive with the respect the mountain demands.